Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be doing another personal story. I did one probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago about my relationship with my dad, and got a lot of great feedback from that. So I thought I would go ahead and do another one here today. Another tough story, something that I really hope I don't end up getting emotional about. But if it happens, it happens. But it was my first start as a quarterback in the varsity level, my junior year of high school. I ended up throwing 3 picks and we lost the game 22-6. Really a tough game, just because what ended up happening at the time with the state playoffs is in California. There was like a selection in order to make it so a team could actually get selected to go and play the state. And this is when De La Salle was continually winning state championships, and I think the team that we had that junior year, my junior year, had a ton of seniors, and altogether I think we had like 12 or 13 Division I athletes, a few guys that ended up playing in the NFL, and so we were a really good team. And yeah, it was my first game starting on the varsity level. It was a really close game going into halftime, and I could break down the interceptions. I remember one of them where I was rolling out to the right. The team that we were playing, they had Joe Fourier, who also ended up playing in the NFL, and tried to throw the ball over him as I was releasing the ball, and ended up throwing it high, and that was my first interception of the game. And then later on, there was like a post type of a route where I just threw behind the receiver. Ended up throwing another interception there, and then the last interception was a sluggo, where you fake the slant and then have the guy, and the guy was open, and threw my third interception there, underthrew it. And it was really, I remember going, and we had like a party to go and see if we're going to be able to make it to the state championship. It was either us or Corona Centennial, who was also really good. They only lost one game. We only lost one game, but they beat the team that we beat. But we still, ended up having a really good season and played a lot of really good teams. I think in the playoffs, we only gave up like 12 points or something like that, or 18 points in the entire playoffs. We gave up 18 points. Our defense was great. Offense was great. We had a really great year. We still won the championship within our division, the city section, but ended up not, like I said, making it to the state championship. And going in and getting the news that we didn't end up making it to state, it really hit me hard, because I took a lot of responsibility for that, because that first game, a lot of people made different mistakes. We had different things happen. One of our guys fumbled going in on the one, and it was just one of those games where I felt like we were the better team, but ended up losing. And obviously, just taking that responsibility in the loss was something that still to this day it really haunts me. And like I said, I don't want to end up tearing up. I've been able to get through it, but it is something that will still bring sadness and get me to that level of tearing up, and just because I felt like I really let the team down and let the people around me down. My dad's, like I said, was one of my coaches, so I felt like my dad down, and losing that game. And it's tough. It's tough. And the reason I wanted to make this video, though, is just to be able to connect to a lot of you guys out there, because I know there's a lot of guys that are going into high school, or have the opportunity to get in their first start and things like that. And what naturally happens is you end up being a little bit more nervous about everything when you're getting ready to get into the next level, high school level, whatever the case may be, college level it could be, and you start to get really nervous. And that's what happened to me. I was just too nervous. Let the moment really take me over, and so I just, it was such a big game. It meant so much to the team, and even at that point, I already knew how big it was going to be, and I let that emotion really take me over, and that's what made it so I ended up having such a bad game. And so, for all the guys that are out there watching that have had tough games, or are going to go into high school and kind of let yourself get out there and get exposed, I really would say, go for it. Go 110%. You can't learn about yourself unless you go out and test yourself and see how you'll be able to do against the top teams, the top players. And that's what it was. It was the two top teams in the area battling out, and we ended up losing that game. Like I said, it's a lot because of, I think, what I did and some of the mistakes that I made. But being able to take that ownership and be able to get back up, and we ended up not losing another game the whole year, and ended up upsetting some really big teams. We played on ESPN when they first started doing the ESPN games. We ended up beating, at the time, I think they were like the number 10 or 12 team in the nation, upsetting them. Obviously, they were undefeated. We had the one loss, and we were able to do that on national TV. So that was a huge win. And I know that as much as that really hurt to lose that first game, it really built a fire inside of me to go and be able to not let that happen again, and really take a lot of responsibility in what I was doing as a quarterback to make sure that it wouldn't happen again. So, sometimes, even though it sucks and it's still something that haunts me, it's also something that's made me grow more and more, and still something that motivates me too, because I know at any time you can get too caught up. If you're not properly prepared, you can get caught up in the emotions of a game, and that ends up being your downfall. And for any quarterbacks that are still listening to this and wanting to get any words of advice, I would just say, keep working on your craft and the mentality behind how you go into games, and how you go into practice, and how you go into really any type of competitive situation. Because when you go into these competitive situations, you want to have a desire to win, and you don't want to let that moment be too big. And I know that's what happened to me, is I let that moment get the best of me, and that's what ended up making it so I made the mistakes that I made. And so if you can really control that and understand that, I know that you can build up the confidence to have a lot more success. There was a lot of games that I was able to win later on in my career, just because of that accountability that I was able to build within myself after going through and losing that tough game. So just a story that we all make mistakes, we all fail, we all it doesn't always go our way, and that's life. And so there's going to be times that happens. It's going to be not how many times that you get knocked down, but how many times can you get back up and keep moving forward. And that's really what's important in sports and in life. All right, hope this connects with somebody, and talk soon.